What's up, you guys? It is Yuri Choi here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about an interesting topic. So if you're an entrepreneur or a high achiever, but specifically an entrepreneur, this is something that you definitely want to listen into. These are signs that your work passion, so your passion for work has overtaken your life and it's turning dark and it's no longer healthy anymore, and it's time to find balance and inner peace so that you can actually create a long-term fulfillment. So let's talk about this. Number one, and so, just so you know, I'm a performance coach and I work with a lot of these types of entrepreneurs, and this is how I know, because these are typically signs that show up. Number one, you don't know who you would be without your identity as an entrepreneur or something to do with work. So it's like you forget who you are. Your real estate of your mind is just filled with who you are as an entrepreneur, that you forget about all your other social roles. You don't have any hobbies. There's nothing else that you're passionate about. Your connections with your loved ones are kind of fading away, or they don't seem that important anymore, or they're even, not. You're feeling distant from your other social roles, even if they do exist on paper. So this is a sign that your passion for work has actually gone to a point that it's no longer healthy anymore. So what is the actual cost of this? Here's the thing. We're supposed to have lots of different facets and lots of different angles to who we are. We are not we're not supposed to be just like one layered person. We have so many different aspects to, facets to us. And when we just focus on our social role as, connected to our work, imagine if something happened to our work, we would crumble because we don't have any other social roles to support us. If we think that we're that one thing and that one thing disappears, God forbid something happens to your business or something doesn't go your way, you're going to have like a breakdown, not in that particular part of your life, but as a person. And it's going to be really hard for you to build that back. And I've seen this in people who are so passionate about their work and they create lots of success, yet because they didn't take the time to create that balance and that foundation of other social roles that can actually support them in times of uncertainty, they just crumble with the business and they feel like, it's hopeless, right? So it's so important from the get-go that you really intentionally create these different layers and different facets to your life to remind yourself that you're not just, work. You're so much more than that. You're a soul, you're a lover, you're a family person, all these different social roles and whatever your hobbies are. For example, for me, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, all of these things. And I'm a friend, I'm a daughter. I'm a yogi. I am someone who enjoys nature. I have these different facets to me so that if for whatever reason something were to happen in my work, I can go to some of those other parts of my life to support me and help me actually get through them. Number two, all your friends and family members have at one point communicated to you or given you feedback that they miss you and that they feel like you're working too much. And that, they're noticing that something's changing in you. Whether it could actually even show up as a personality change, or they just feel like you're being distant and they don't feel connected to you anymore. Well, especially in romantic relationship, this could be a huge sign that they're not feeling connected to you anymore, and it could be a warning sign within the relationship. But when you're so focused on work, you might not even recognize that as something that you need to look at or actually listen to, which actually leads to number three, that you start to actually see everything, including your loved ones, who is expressing these kind of feelings to you, as an obstacle. So you are just so hyper focused on your goal in your business that anything that doesn't add to that seems like an obstacle. Having a nice, relaxed conversation with your loved one feels like an obstacle. Or going on a date with your wife or your husband feels like an obstacle. Or going to your kids' games to support them feels like an obstacle to your one goal that you have in your mind, which is, hitting that next milestone in your business. Now, if you're getting to that point, it's needless to say it's not healthy, it's not balanced, but sometimes when you're in that path, in that super focused path, it's so easy to just write it off as, well, I'm just doing this for the family, I'm just doing this for the business, I'm just really passionate about what I do. And I'm here to tell you that it might be really helpful for you to take a moment, reflect, and see, is your time really spent aligned with your values? Because I've heard a lot of people say, they started the business because, they want to support their family and they want to make their family happy. And, because they love their, wife, kids, parents, whatever. But do you actually, when we look at your daily life, is there any indication of that? How you spend your time? And if not, what are you waiting for? Is that truly what they want, or do they actually just want to spend some quality time with you, or actually share that genuine connection with you? Because a lot of times we forget what our true values are, and we forget to live an aligned life, which is a huge part of success. Number 4, you are clashing with your loved ones, or you're lashing out at your loved ones because you feel really stressed, you feel like, they don't understand you and how hard you work, and, you're trying to prove something, and you just feel like you're having all these conflicts and problems within your personal relationships. And, it seems like a lot of those conversations have to do with how much you work. Again, this is kind of related to number 2 and 3, but this is so important to look at because, again, how, you get to remember, why are you working? What are you really doing all this for? You can't sell what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have, especially if you have a business that, you're supposed to create freedom for your clients, you're supposed to create happiness for your clients, whatever, most businesses have those goals, right? Whatever you do, you're adding to their life in that way, yet you don't have freedom from your work, you don't have love in your own life, you don't feel genuinely happy. At one point, it's going to start to work against you and not for you, because you're no longer aligned in who you are and what you are actually selling. So for example, if I were super unhappy and super unfulfilled, it would be probably impossible for me to do my, role or fulfill my role as a coach for my clients, where I help them live a fulfilling life. They could just probably feel it. It'd be one thing if it was just once in the blue moon, but if it was every time they talk to me, I sound like I hate my life, yet I'm helping them, create a life and business that they get to love and that they get to really enjoy, they're going to start to notice a difference, even if they can't pinpoint it. And this is, going to trickle down to your employees or, your clients, your communities. And, there's something beyond just what you're serving them, what you're giving them as a product or service. There's something called energy. So that energy behind it is going to be different when you're not truly embodying what you say you're there to give your clients. I had a client, or I still have a client, I'm still working with him, but his values are creating freedom, location freedom and time freedom for his clients by creating lots of systems for them. And one of the conversations we had very early on was, how are you embodying those core values, or what you're really creating for your clients? Because if someone were to look at his life and say, wow, he has time freedom, he has location freedom, and I want that, and I want to, I want some of his magic, like that would feel so much more aligned. That would be so much more magnetic than someone who doesn't know what it feels like to have location or time freedom, yet his products or his services promise to do so. Then there's going to be some skepticism, right? Okay, and lastly, number 6. If you find yourself, and these are signs that your passion for work has turned dark, and this is the last one here, number 6, your emotions and or even your self-worth goes up and goes down and goes up and goes down with the outcome of your business. So, if your business is making money and doing well, you feel even more confident, you feel like you're even more worthy. And then when something doesn't go well, you find your worthiness and your confidence sinking with it. Then, well, it's time to rebuild your confidence and really cement it in a very solid way, because obviously that's not real confidence, right? Real confidence stays with you. Real worthiness stays with you. You're already whole, right? It's the realization that you're already whole. Yet, if it's going up and down with your business, it probably means that you have a codependent relationship to your work or your business. It is no longer healthy, because now your business or your work is defining you. They're the master and you're the slave. You're not the master of your business or your life at that point. So it's time to take your power back. Now, these are some signs that your work or your passion or your business has turned dark. So if you start to resonate with any of these and you're an entrepreneur out there and you're like, wow, I'm really seeing some, indications that I get to look at my life and see how I can start to create a balance and create a, really build that deeper sense of fulfillment and start to rebuild these relationships with the people that I really do love, let's chat. I am offering a few complimentary initial consults this month so that we can see if we can potentially work together in January. Feel free to use the link below to either email me or schedule a quick call with me, and I would love to hear from you. And other than that, please comment below, whether this felt directly for you because you're an entrepreneur or, a professional that has a very high demands in work, or, if this is something just that you're listening to and something really landed for you and you felt that like, oh my gosh, like that moment of realization, like something needs to change, or, there was a breakthrough for you. Please feel free to share. Again, my name is Yuri Choi. I'm a performance coach. I am the founder of Yuri Choi Coaching. I'm also an author and speaker and YouTuber, clearly, because you're here. So please feel free to subscribe. Would love to stay connected here. And if you guys have any questions for me, comment below. Share with me what you thought of this video. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, y'all.